Welcome to the Love Dub podcast. I am one of your hosts, McFly, and this is my lovely wife,
Erica.
And today we had a very special video for you guys. So episode 4, we're churning right along here. We have alluded to before that we have a little one, beautiful little girl who will be turning 1 in a couple of weeks. So we thought it would be a great time to give you guys our top 10 tips to get through that first year. Because guys, if you're embarking on that journey or if you've already gone through it, you know, it's tough, it's rough, and you are scared and you don't know what to do. And you feel like you're the only person that's going through this. The reality of it is you are not. You are not the only person that's going through this, and your fears are completely founded. We understand, but we want to give you guys a little bit of encouragement, some helpful tips, some tricks to get through that first year. So without any further ado, we're going to get off with number 10.
So number 10 is read from birth. So I think it's very important that you, even reading like a bedtime story, and it gets your baby into a routine of knowing what's coming next. So that's great within and of itself. Realize over the course of the months, like she gets so interactive with her books. She flaps, she turns the pages, she calms down completely. And even if she's like wailing, it's almost as if it's a calming mechanism for her. She loves to, like, when we're reading books to her.
At first, especially if your baby's only a few months, it may not seem that they're paying attention. And I tend to think they don't as much, but I do think the cadence and the routine can be calming. So even when they're only a couple of months and it doesn't seem to make a lot of sense,
I say as soon as that baby slips out, you need to start reading.
I hope it's not just slipping out, but okay. You should read 100%.
Number 9, talk continuously to your baby. Now, it will seem stupid. I think it helps with language development. Essentially. Yeah, because she's not going to say anything back. But
if she does,
he is not going to say anything back.
If they speak back, then awesome. You know, you won. You win. You got a smart baby. But, you know.
I think it definitely is going to help with language development and also them recognizing what you're talking about. So even now with my daughter, I've realized she knows more things than I thought she did. Like, I'll say puffs. She loves her snacks. Now, puffs are these puff cereals, like snacks. A bunch of, the brands do it. And she loves them. If I say puffs, she'll like look around and be like, walk directly to me because she says, oh, puffs? I love my snacks.
Now, this is going to sound really bad, but guys, don't treat your kid like a dog. It's similar to when you have a dog. And it's funny, people say there's nothing like having a, in terms of what they pick up, because it's the same kind of things I remember doing when we had a dog. His name is Duke, by the way, because she wanted to know. But what we did was we would routinely say things, and I think that practice got us in the mode of making sure we speak what we're doing. We're going upstairs. We're going downstairs. Do you want this? Do you want that? We notice that she doesn't necessarily say a whole bunch of words. I mean, again, she's turning 1. But we realize she understands way more because we kept saying, oh, this is this and this is that. So when she hears those words, it triggers in her, oh, I know what a puff is. I like that. I know
definitely knows what a puff is.
I know what a book is. I want to read. Yes, I want to read.
And as soon as I say book, she definitely turns around and pays attention and sits down.
Yep.
And because she wants to read.
She knows her process. So yeah, absolutely talk a bunch about everything you're doing.
And I'm naturally a quiet person, so it was really a stretch for me to continually try and talk.
I was just babbling to her all the time. This is your knees connected to your leg. Oh, there's your foot. There's your toes. We had a lot of just weird conversations when she was little, and I hope it helped. But
don't do too much baby talk while you're doing this talking.
No, stop. Do no baby talk.
I'm not saying no.
None.
I think that Parenthood has been found to increase meaning, like using high tones and low tones, but don't change your words completely and make it like dumbed down.
For example, if you're giving your baby potatoes, don't call it, you want some taters? No, we don't do that. Do you want some potatoes? Potatoes? You can still have fun with it.
Yeah, definitely add the inflections, but don't dumb down the word.
Don't have your baby eating taters. No taters. Number 8.
Encourage your baby's strengths and adjust based off of that. So our baby is very inclined gross motor wise. Like she's reached a lot of her gross motor skills faster than her, like for instance, her speaking. And based off that, we started teaching her some sign language because based off what we were seeing, she wanted to communicate to us, but then she just started yelling at us. She didn't know how else to communicate. So we started teaching her sign language. So when she wants, like for instance, milk, she goes, milk. You know, when she wants like more, she'll like start to put her hands together. Technically this is more, but she does this. So pivot to what are like your baby's strengths are. I think that is very important.
And that's actually something we got from our doctor in a sense of, at some points, babies tend to shift focuses based on what their body wants to do. Mm. So there was times where she was much more apt to babble and try different sounds. And then she kind of stopped that and decided, I want to move more. I want to walk more. So our baby did not crawl really at all.
Oh, did not
decided
at all.
I want to just stand and just started walking one day.
She crawled after she started walking, and the crawling only lasted for 2 weeks until she could figure out how to stand up back on her own. Yeah, without aid of like furniture.
She'd walk and then lose it, and then she'd crawl a little bit so she can get something and pull herself back up. And even now, she will not crawl.
She doesn't crawl.
She will not crawl. She prefers to walk, and then she started to try to run a little bit, which is kind of funny. But yes, so what we did was we, again, catered to that. We said, okay, if you want to do this, you want to move and do more with your body physically, fine. So again, we teach her sign language. So now she does certain symbols. We're like, oh, that's cool. We've been teaching you that. So now she can communicate, and it takes less pressure off her to be able to communicate, because now she can do it and get what she wants from it. And it's teaching her in her mind, oh, when I do this, we still say the words. So she knows, oh, it's this word. So I know what it means, even if I haven't said it yet. And I know how to say it for myself without having to speak it. So again, catering to her, but not having her miss a beat developmentally wise, which is always important. You want them to continue to grow and progress. So definitely cater to what their strengths are and help them develop a bit faster.
Number 7, doubt is normal. I had a large realization even in the beginning. Our daughter, for instance, wasn't getting back up to birth weight fast enough. So I started to worry.
And this is weeks in.
No, not weeks. Week in.
She was a lighter baby, 6 pounds 5 ounces. She was light, and they always want to make sure that they're eating enough, because a lot of development, again, for you new parents out there, you soon to be parents out there, a lot of development is tied to weight gain. The more weight they gain, the faster they develop. They're getting their nutrients. Their system begins to evolve and develop the way it should.
The fat that they ingest goes to their brain.
It's right, the brain development. So a lot of things are just tied to just eat, gain weight, because it's going to allow you to develop faster. So if the doctor notices, hey, you're not gaining enough weight, they're going to say maybe push the formula, or, whatever else option they may suggest for you. But it can be nerve-wracking because, again, you're a brand new parent and you already feel like you don't know what you're doing. And no matter how many books you read, you won't feel like you know what you're doing. You're going to feel like, damn, I have no idea. And so it can be nerve-wracking 100%. Also, as we alluded to before, our daughter was not the most talkative. She had a stretch where she kind of started to, and we thought, oh, maybe. We even think she said a word, which is weird. She said hi, I feel like months ago.
6 months.
Like 6 months she said hi. And then we were like, oh my gosh, she's speaking. This is awesome. And then it just stopped. Then the sound stopped, and it was just the same repeated sound. We were like, that's weird. And so we began to fear that, well, maybe she doesn't want to speak early. Maybe she was going to be late in speaking. And we started going down the awful WebMD foxhole, which will absolutely have you get just the most terrible form of anxiety you can think of. A lot of her development is based on her. It's unique to her. Mm-hmm. It's unique to who she is. And we have to embrace that. We've learned a lot from it, and we've learned not to so much worry about what everyone else is doing. But again, those doubts you're going to have. They're natural. gather yourself, leader your partner,
And
but you'll be fine.
Going.
Yes, absolutely.
Likely you're doing fine.
Yes, likely you are. Number 6.
Take more pictures and video. So looking back now, while I have taken a lot of pictures, I realized I didn't take as much video as I thought I did. And I think that's important because I'm one of those people who sits up in their bed at night and like looks through the videos again, and also capture those milestones. So please get them on video. Take more pictures together. And I've realized that during like me looking back at my photos, we don't have a lot of pictures where we're all together. It's either
somebody's holding the baby.
Right.
So get people to come take pictures of you, or have grandma do it, and just pass the camera along. Whoever wants to get a picture, just pass it along until you get everybody in.
Yeah,
Make sure
I think it's definitely really important. Get everybody in, because you don't want to miss out on those memories when you want to look back.
Absolutely.
Because even though we think that we remember everything, we lose a lot. I can't tell you what happened in college.
That's another video.
Number 5, do date night. Even though...
If you are a day one diehard from like weeks ago, you already know we like date night. It's important.
We do. Even though likely their first night, you'll spend most of the time talking about your baby while you're away from your baby. Do it anyway.
Your baby may be there as well. It all depends. Date night doesn't have to be just you two, although it's nice when it is, but realistically, you got to do what you got to do. But make sure you still enjoy each other, even with the baby there.
Definitely.
Date night video will be up here somewhere. I'll link it. So
it's in the cards, as they say, right? I think that's what they say.
Did they say that?
Yeah, it's in the cards. That's what they call them.
But like some people point to them and they'd be all right. Anyways, number 4.
Soak it in. I'm weird. I love the smell of my baby's breath.
No, listen, don't do that. That's just weird.
It's not weird.
It's
Soak it in.
I accept
one day it'll be weird. Bad breath and having to brush teeth all the time.
I will say this. She used to say to me, she'll never be any easier than this, or she'll never be more cuddly than this. And I was like, no, I'm not worried about that. Already at one, I'm just like, man, I remember when you didn't walk as much. And you just laid there, you napped all day. Now you got to have activities.
Yes.
Even at one, activities. Now they get little attitudes now already. Maybe just our daughter, but I feel maybe it can't be. It can't be. But they get little attitudes now. It's strange. You would think no, it did sweet as pie. Enjoy every moment, and even now, whatever she's having now is going to be way better than when she's 13 and she's cursing at us about her boyfriend Jonathan or whatever his name would be.
Why Jonathan?
I don't know. It's just like a douchey name. Sorry, Jonathan's out there. Just assume. But yeah, enjoy every moment. It's a blessing. It's a gift, and enjoy it, because the moment you have, you won't have tomorrow.
And it flies by like that.
Yeah, it feels like it's literally been 2 weeks. Honestly, it really does. So enjoy it. Enjoy each moment for sure.
Number 3, don't turn against each other. So especially in the beginning, there's definitely a time of, one, you're not getting any sleep, at least for the first month. We were lucky that our baby started sleeping around like the 5-week mark.
Blessed. Absolutely blessed. And we had her mother was very helpful. My mother was helpful. Taking the baby, then get some sleep, because it is exhausting. And
but
guys,
besides
it's
that,
exhausting. Even for you, it's exhausting.
It's very easy to say, you're not doing as much, I'm doing this, and building a case against your partner.
She said that to me.
And building a case against your partner.
She built a very convincing case.
Yes, and be like, you're dismissed. No need here.
But it is, what you tend to do is you fall into your niches, and it's important to make sure that you push beyond and you help where you can. Like, for example.
And girls, say what you need. You can't know unless you say it.
That's true. guys, do a bit more diaper duty than you're used to doing, than you maybe want to do. Those little things do help. They definitely help. And I think what was good for me is having a company that gave me a little bit of paternity leave, having to be the primary caregiver for a couple of weeks when I was on paternity leave, it opened my eyes to it's a lot. Like, especially at that age, she was, 3 or 4 months at that point?
It's just 4 months.
4 months at that point. So she's feeding consistently. She's taking lots of naps, but she's feeding consistently. She's peeing and pooping consistently. So you're going through and you're like, man, this is a lot of work. And you got to make sure that you're kind of on it. You begin to understand what they go through a bit more, because that first year of life, just for the dads out there, mama is going to reign supreme. You might as well be used to being second, because she is the comfort. I mean, she was the house. She's now the food. There's nothing else that you can do that's going to be like, well, my dad does. Yeah, no. Make it older? Sure, it's daddy's girl all day. But now, oh, no. It's all about that one over there. But again, don't let that have a wedge between you. Make sure that you're doing whatever you can to help and support, because, again, it is – people do it, and I, big ups to everybody that does it as a single parent. It's hard. It's so hard, and you don't need the wedge between you making it harder, and you don't want it to cause strain on your marriage.
Yeah, or a relationship if you're not married.
Or you're not married, where we don't want to make any assumptions. But you need, and you really understand why me and he talk about the power of the two-parent household, because, again, it's a lot. It is a lot, and you need the two of you to be on the same page to make sure you can get through it. Number 2, comparison is the thief of joy. Yes. Don't compare your kid to anybody, period. It is not going to make you feel good.
It doesn't.
It doesn't give you any answers.
I'm not going to lie. Sometimes it gives you a little bit of boost. And I think sometimes it is necessary. But if something in the pit of your gut doesn't say something's wrong, don't go down the rabbit hole.
Comparison can be useful.
Yes.
If you're talking about large numbers and just kind of expected things based on years of research and whatnot. To an extent, comparison is okay. But when you start saying that kid did this and my kid didn't, what's wrong? Or if you do this, which would be just as detrimental, my kid did this and your kid doesn't, and then you rest on the laurels of that, can be catastrophic. And I've seen in our own experiences, we know parents who have had that happen to them. So this is something we've gotten from them. But just to keep you from the rabbit hole, or to keep you from putting in, applications at Mensa, make sure you do not think it makes sense to compare your kid specifically to some other kid. It doesn't matter. Most importantly, kids develop at their own pace. And that was some of the biggest advice that we got from multiple sources. But
now, there's obviously things that you should do to encourage and further their development. So don't obviously rest on your laurels, like my husband said. Don't
do it. It doesn't help you at all.
Don't.
And again, there's no way else to say it. Don't compare your kids. Focus on them and help them develop to be the best child, person, adult they can be. Always.
Yes. Number 1, don't buy too much stuff. I think a lot of people go way overboard buying too much crap.
If you know people, you're going to be gifted so much stuff.
Everybody's situation is different, but even still, you don't need that much stuff.
And you'll buy stuff that you think you're going to use and you won't use. And that's the biggest reason why you shouldn't buy a lot of stuff.
So next week, our video is going to be some of our Holy Grail items that you're most definitely going to need. Please tune in and see that next week.
But yeah, don't waste too much money. Check out our next videos. Guys,
comment, and subscribe.
We need some subscribers. Hit that bell for notifications so you see our next video comes out. Again, we will have a video coming next week. It is our Holy Grail video of items, things you cannot miss. I'm telling you right now, it will help you, new parents. So please tune in for the next one. Later.
Bye.